Gemini Stitcher and welcome to my sewing channel. We're not in my sewing space today because I've got the rail out again. It's not been out for a while. I just thought it was time to give it a little outing. Now, you'll know if you've been watching me that I've got a little bit of an addiction at the moment to the Sew House 7 toaster sweater. That's the toaster sweater. And I've said on my vlog that the pictures on the pattern packing don't inspire you. So I thought I'd share my versions of the toaster and see if it gives you a little bit of inspiration to try it yourself. Let's talk about the toaster sweater. As I said, a Sew House 7 pattern. This pattern comes from a size extra small up to an XXL, which isn't too bad on the size inclusivity front. Could be a little bit bigger and maybe an XX small, but you know, it's not bad. So what are the measurements that they give? We'll go with the finished garment measurements because that's what I tell everybody to look at. Look at your body measurements first, then look at the finished garment measurements and see how much ease there is by subtracting one from the other. Then get a tape measure, put that amount of ease around and see how you feel with it around your largest area. With me, it's my boobs with a top. And decide from that, really. It's good if you've got a friend with you. So if you go to a social, get somebody to do it there with you before you even put it out. Because this top, I like version 1. And it can come out a little bit snug, if I'm honest. I make a size medium, which says it is for bust 35 to 36. I'm just short of size 35 inches, so I'm at the lower end of the medium. So potentially between a small and a medium if I go off those measurements. But I have made a size small and it was very snug. So I now make medium. So the finished garment measurements for a medium are 41 inches. Now I know in my head for blouses and sweatshirts, unless I want them huge sloppy Joe jobs, 41 inches is the perfect amount of ease for me. It gives me about 5 inches, 6 inches of ease, which sounds like a lot, but you need to be comfortable. You've got to have room to move and you don't want it to be skin tight. The outfit I'm wearing is the Carly dress by Sew Over It, which is in jersey, but again, this is completely different because it needs to be a snugger fit. So you need to look at that when you're looking at your sizing and your garment measurements, finished measurements. So that's the pattern. Now, there's a front, a back, a sleeve, a neckband and a cuff for version 1. Version 2 has got a boat neck and it's a lot looser fit. I've not made that one yet, but I'm thinking I might give it a try. That one has got a set-in sleeve, whereas the cropped one has a raglan sleeve. And that one's got a boat neck, and that one's got a neckband, high neckband. So they are completely different sweaters, so 2 for the price of 1 for sure. I've made quite a few of these and I thought I'd go through them with you now. And then some of you have asked how I get one of those out of a metre of fabric. So I'm going to record me and tag it on the end, cutting out my toaster sweater from a metre of fabric, just so you see how I do my pattern Tetris for it to work. Now, caveat here, I am only 5 foot tall. So having said that, the only thing that I shorten is the length of the sleeves. I leave the body the length that it is because it is very cropped. So if you're taller than me, maybe lengthen the body because, yeah, it can be very cropped if you're not careful. Right, stop blabbing, Christine, and show these lovely people your gowns. We'll start at this end with my favourite. And this I made at my last sewing retreat with Steph, and we both made the toaster in this beautiful, quite a mid-heavyweight corded fabric. It's only got a small amount of stretch to it. As I said, made a size medium. I shortened the length on the arms by a good 2 inches, so it has quite wide cuffs on the bottom. And put a little cute label. What does the label say? Perfectly me at the bottom. And it's got the high neck. Perfect fit, size medium, shorten the arms by 2 inches, good to go. I do most of it on my overlocker, so I can whisk one of these out if I'm not doing top stitching in about an hour. Amazing. Another reason to love it. Instant gratification. However, this one, I don't know if you can see, I've top stitched around the raglan sleeve and around the neckband and the waistband, just to give it that little finishing professional look. And I think the fabric screamed out for being top stitched, so that's what I did with that one, which made it take me probably about another hour because I'm rubbish at top stitching. I have to go so slow, but I like to get it right. That is toaster sweater number 1. Number 2, I made this last year, maybe the year before actually, but it's still on rotation in my spring and winter wardrobe. It's in a French terry, don't know where I got it from, and the neckband and the cuffs and the waistband have been done in a rib fabric that you get in a loop. And that by doing that, it's given it a little bit of contrast and it's made my fabric go further. So that's a little tip. If you've got expensive fabric and you don't want to waste it, just do the sleeves and the body in the expensive fabric and then get some matching or contrasting cuffing to do the rest. So yeah, French terry, perfect. These next two have both been done in furback sweatshirting. Got it from Empress Mills, and a few people have been struggling to find it. I think it's called their deluxe sweatshirting, and it is beautiful furback on it. You've seen these before, and I've done one way and one the other way. So you can make your fabric go further if you want 2 tops for the price of 1. So out of 2 meters of fabric, 1 in the pink or purple, lilac, whatever colour you call it, and 1 in the green, I've got 2 toaster sweaters. 1 with the green cuffs and neckband and 1 with the pink cuffs and neckband. They're going to be snuggly and warm. And last but definitely not least on my toaster sweater collection is the one that I made in the beautiful leopard print Atelier brunette fabric. Now this is the one that caused all the questions about getting this sweater out of a metre of fabric. I only bought a metre of this fabric because it was an expensive fabric. It was about £25 a metre. I know, but sometimes it does you good to splurge. And I get so many nice comments about it. I'm so pleased that I made it. It was made doing my pattern Tetris and I got it all out of a metre of fabric. So there So they're nice sweaters. And I went on from there and thought, I want to make this into a dress because I absolutely love the fit of it. And so far, I've made 2 dresses. This one has been made in a beautiful Angora feel sweater knit fabric from xxxx. I will pop the link in the details below. And I've made it just above the knee with some woolly tights and some brown boots in the winter. I think this is going to look fab. And I can't wait to start wearing it, even though I don't want the cold weather. I'll be snuggly and warm in this one for sure. And last but not least is this. It's been made in a sweatshirt fabric. I got mine from the Remnant House in Harrogate, but I know that they've got it on Pound Fabrics, and I will pop the link below. I think it's about £8 a metre on Pound Fabrics. I paid a lot more than that, so I was sick as a chip. But I got this beautiful teal colour, and I don't think they've got that available on Pound Fabrics now. They've got black and they've got a rose colour. Very nice colours, but not me. So I'm okay. To lengthen it, I measured my widest part round my derriere and my hips, and I made sure that when I lengthened it, it was going to be about an inch wider than that because I didn't want it big and baggy. I wanted it to skim the hips and my bum. So I've added half an inch, so it's ended up 2 inches wider down the front. And yeah, winner, winner. So am I done with the toaster sweater? What do you think? On the table behind me, let's just move the rail out of the way. So on the table here, I've got a pile of fabric that I'm potentially going to use for toaster sweaters or dresses. The first one, the lovely Steph got this when we went to Fabworks in Dewsbury last spring. And she decided she was gifting it me. How kind of her. I love it. It's like feels like a peach skin, I think. Or the lower. Can't decide. And I can't remember what they call it. It's got a bit of stretch to it. And I think it will look amazing as a toaster dress. So that is on my radar to make one of the dresses in. Now this, matchy matchy, I think I got about 3 metres of it, so I've got quite a bit of it left, and I really love the colours. But obviously I don't want to make another Carly dress, do I? Look ridiculous. But I thought, now it's a cotton jersey, so it's a bit more lightweight than my other toaster dresses. So I thought I might make a toaster dress out of what's left of it. So that's 2 more toaster dresses. Is 4 toaster dresses too many? No. This next one is some fabric that we got from Abercarn's when we went to the sale. And it's a stretch velour. Now, I was going to make quite a complicated dress in this until I saw how Steph got on with hers yesterday. She came over and we had a sewing day here and it was great. Didn't get much done, but we had a good day. And she was trying to make the Carly dress in this fabric and she's doing it, but she was hissing and spitting with it where she was doing the placket because it's a bit stretchy and a bit got a life of its own, really. So I've decided it's not going to be the Carly dress. I'm going to do a toaster. I don't think I'm going to do the dress. I'm going to do the top in it because it's a thinner fabric than my other toaster tops and it'll be nice for layering with. I think I'll do it as a size small, which makes it more fitted, but then I'll be able to wear it and layer it underneath things. So that's what I'm going to do with that. And then there'll be enough fabric left to probably make a nice cardigan as well. But sausage skin toaster out of that. And the last piece of fabric is just so snuggly. It's going to be a toaster, I've decided. Now, I'm going to demonstrate with this one, I think, today. And then you can see, because I've definitely only got a metre of fabric, maybe a little bit less. So I'm going to challenge myself to get a toaster out of this that I can wear around the house as a snuggly loungewear top. I haven't got any bottoms to go with it, so I might have to have a look for some more fabric that will go with it when I'm not on the fabric ban. But it'll go with other things. We don't have to be matchy-matchy all the time, do we? So that's going to be a loungewear toaster. So there we go. I've confessed I'm addicted to the Soho House 7 toaster sweater. It's out there. I'm all right with it. I love it. I love the fit of it. I love the ease of making it. It is very beginner friendly. It's a good one if you've just bought an overlocker because you can do it all on the overlocker apart from the top stitching. The sizing, as I said at the beginning, check the sizing. It can be a little bit snug. I thought I was a small, but if I want the movement and the room inside it, I need a medium. If I want it to be a bit snugger fit, to fit more like this top, because I want to wear it underneath garments, then I'd go down to a small. You can get it out of a metre of fabric, and I'm going to whiz over to the table now, get this fabric laid out, and record me cutting it out and how I managed to finagle it out of a small piece of fabric. If you're taller than me and larger than me, then you might not get it out of a metre. But what you can do is do, like I said before, and do the neckband, the large cuffs and the large waistband in a cheaper fabric and use your expensive fabric for the top of the sleeves and the body. And you're getting it out of a metre of the expensive fabric still, aren't you? So I hope you found it interesting. We're going to go to the table now, and fingers crossed, I'll get a toaster out of this fabric. Come on, let's go and see. Here we are. I've got my fabric laid out, and this is what you would normally do. Put your selvage to selvage, have it double, and cut your pattern pieces out. But if we want to get the toaster out of a metre of fabric, we've got to do pattern Tetris. The first thing I do is get the front and the backs cut out because they're cut on the fold. So what we're going to do is undo this, and I'm only going to fold it over by the amount of fabric I need double for the front and the back. I've gone right up to the edge of the selvage because this selvage edge will be incorporated into the seam allowance anyway, and we want to try and make sure we're going to get the garment out of the fabric. So in this case, against all the golden rules, I've just gone into the selvage slightly at the underarm point. Out thicker fabrics, I use pattern weights, not pins, and I use my trusty electric scissors. Love these to bits. fold again along the same piece of fabric. We're not going to go down there with it, we're just doing it at the top. Fold it again. That was the back. So then I'm going to fold it and cut the front out. Now we've got that much at the end, but we've also got this piece here. If you've got a fabric that isn't a one-way design, you can fold it like that. I don't want to do that because I'm not sure whether this fabric has got a nap on it or not. So we're going to stick with everything going the same way. This top piece that was left, I've folded it over and I'm getting the two cuff pieces. They are going into the selvage edge, but again, that's going to get sewn into the seam line, so I'm allowing myself to cut it there. So we've got this much fabric left now, out of 1 metre. I've got the sleeves to get out of it, the neckband, and the bottom waistband. So we're going to cut the sleeves out first, because if you get to the point here where you haven't got enough for the neckband and the waistband, then as I said before, you can get those out of a different fabric. So cut the sleeves first. Sleeves cut out. So we're left with this. So we're left with this now, and I've got to try and get the neckband and the waistband out of this. So let's see how we get on. And is 1 cut on the fold, so I've folded it over only by the amount that I need for the neckband. So we can reduce that a little bit. There we go. I can't use this top bit because it isn't all the way along, so unfortunately we're going to have to go down a little bit to there and cut the neckband out. I've reduced the waistband by 2.5 inches. So if you're worried about it being too short in the body, then I would add a couple of inches onto the front and back body pieces to compensate for this. And then I'm going to get 2 of them out of this last piece of fabric, and I'm going to have side seams. So I've folded the bottom waistband in half lengthways, so it's half the size because it's not going all the way round. I'm making 2 of them, and I've had to reduce the depth of it by 2.5 inches to get it on the fabric, but I'm all right with that. So we'll get those cut out, and then we're good to go. I'm going to go away and whiz this up now, and then I'll show you the finished result at the end. See you in a bit. it's all done. So this is my toaster sweater version 1, made out of 1 metre of fabric. I've shown you how I got it all out of the metre. And I said sometimes I make a medium and sometimes I make a small. So this has been made up as a true size small. It fits, but it is a snugger fit, if you like. And this is the size I would make if I were layering up under things, or I was making it as a pair of PJs where they needed to be a little bit more fitted. So yeah, absolutely loving this top. And I was initially thinking that it was just only going to be suitable for loungewear, but now I've made it actually out and about with a pair of denim jeans on. I think that would look rather nice. So, hope you've enjoyed my vlog. If you've got any questions at all about the toaster sweater, put it in the comments below. Let me know, is it your favourite sweater too, and how many have you made? Because I've made quite a few, haven't I? I'm going to love you and leave you now, and I will see you next Monday for my makes of the week and plans. Have a lovely sewing week. I love you all, and I will see you soon.